Alright, now we're gonna do something else. Time to talk about a subject that I really know. I feel very strongly about this. Because ever since 2015, it just really seems the standards of writing for anything comic book related, or even comic books in general, have really gone down the fucking toilet. Like, it's really this bad. And you know it's this bad when you have so many channels talking about it, like this one here. So what I'm going to do now is react and give feedback, well, as well as rants, about how the MCU is on life support, and so is he, by the great guy known as It'sAGundam. I have never disagreed with this guy at all, so far. Like, every single video this guy uploads, he's just speaking facts after facts. And I know this is going to be the same thing. He really is saying a bunch of things that I was always thinking about for the longest time. And it's really gone so bad. And I always feared the MCU was going to go this route. Especially after Endgame. Nowadays, I don't even know what Marvel and DC are doing these days. They're just destroying everything they built. It's like they wanna just build their castle, and then once they're done building it, they tear it down, and then they want to build it again one more time. But then, instead of using the strong materials from last time, they want to use weaker materials. What kind of sense does that make? But I said enough for now. Let's get this started. Vince McMahon.
He was special. Have you heard the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by today's sponsor, Fume. Fume is a award-winning flavored air device that draws flavors into your mouth. It's not a vape, though. It fills the void of ditching a bad habit because you still have something to reach for. Don't forget that these are free from nicotine, and it's safe to use anywhere. Now you won't be hassled by some Karen. Fume's design is also about more than just flavor.
Why the hell are you buffering?
On the go. My
no time
favorite
for...
flavor is crisp mint. It's refreshing and satisfying without any of the harmful effects you'd associate with other habits. Fume has already helped over 300,000 people build better habits. Try Fume today. And if you order the Journey Pack now using my code It'sAGundam, you'll get a free Fume topper. Nibble on that thing, you heard me? Go to tryfume.com/It'sAGundam or scan the QR code on the screen.
Come on, after he's done doing a freaking sponsor ad, now I get an ad? Fuck off. Alright, there we go.
Once $1 billion franchise that sold hot toys like hotcakes, creating a reseller economy in Hong Kong that made StockX sellers envious for a decade. The
Facts.
MCU even made Marvel appealing to normies, people who then spent thousands of dollars on Funko Pops. That's going bankrupt now. While dipping their toes in
Funko Pops nowadays are like Furbies back in the day.
Comics making an insurmountable amount of stupid decisions to which we are feeling the effects of to this day.
Man, let's go back. Let's go back. He's right. He is right on this part. Let's go back.
That's going bankrupt now. While dipping their toes into the comic books for a short spell, which then led to...
Did they actually go forward with the New Warriors over there? This? Did they actually go forward with it? Because I haven't heard any news about this piece of crap. Especially since these two characters, the pink hair and blue hair, are known as Safe Space and Snowflake. Now I know a lot of us were always talking about these guys should do more original characters rather than just derivative race swap and gender swap characters. But when we meant original characters, we didn't mean shit like this. Make something good. They forgot to factor in make it good. They just make something original, sure, but it wasn't good. It was shit. So they just resorted back to doing gender swaps and race swaps and shit like that. Like, that's why we have Miles Morales and Riri Williams. We're not interested in that shit. Everyone and their mother knows that Ironheart's gonna flop. No one's gonna watch that shit. People are like, oh, people want to tell me like, oh, but she's, you know, Iron Man wasn't so really recognized. His comics flopped until the movies. What are you talking about? Iron Man's always been well loved. He had animated series. He's been featured in numerous video games, including a really good game that I don't even know how many people remember it now, but anyone remember Marvel Nemesis Rise of Imperfects? During the GameCube and PS2 era? Iron Man was the most overpowered character in the damn game. People were trying to argue with me about Riri Williams, like, oh, she's not having a slow start. The MCU will make her more recognizable, and I'm like, no, they won't. They already had their chance with Black Panther 2, and nobody cares. Not to mention her suit looks like shit. And now they're trying to push the hell out of her with the MCU and What If, but she's not interesting. She's one of the snarkiest characters these SJWs have created, and there's nothing interesting about her other than her just being an alteration to Iron Man. Just being a cheap fucking knockoff. And if people are going to say, oh, you must be sexist or racist, no, I like Storm. Storm is actually original. Way more original than Riri Williams ever will be, and Shuri as Black Panther actually makes sense. The only problem is the writing behind it. Having Shuri take up a mantle of Black Panther is an interesting concept, but they completely dropped the ball with it. They just wrote it like shit. That's the problem. The problem is the writing standards. When you really point it down to the roots, the absolute root of the problem of what's going on with Marvel and DC nowadays, it's the writing. They're fucking terrible. But let's continue.
Marvel Comics making an insurmountable amount.
Man, look at that. What if Miles Morales is Wolverine or Thor? He has no real identity. And people are trying to, like, demand to make him Spider-Man? As if Peter Parker is redundant and obsolete? Fuck that. I don't like Miles Morales for a number of reasons. He should have stayed in his own lane, stayed being called Shadow Spider instead of being Ultimate Spider-Man or all that shit. And then now they're just trying to say he's Spider-Man while giving him Gwen Stacy. Come on, man. Come on. Miles Morales is one of the most overrated comic book characters I've ever seen in my life.
Of stupid decisions to which we are feeling.
Look at that. Remove guns from the Punisher. Dude. The guns have been a major staple for Frank Castle, and now they want to get rid of it. As well as change up his logo. His logo was the bomb, and then they turned it into some stupid horned skull thing, whatever the hell that was. It was horrible. And then they make it where he only does blades and all that. I'm like, this ain't the same character anymore. The thing I hate about these writers nowadays is that they keep changing up these characters and making them completely unrecognizable to how they're supposed to be. Which is why we're getting a whole lot of race swaps nowadays. And they say, oh, but race shouldn't matter in a character. It's not really important to their character. Yes, it is. I'm so sick and tired of that fucking argument.
The effects of to this day, all in a sad attempt to appeal to the modern audience.
The modern audience. Who is the modern audience? Really? What is their definition of modern audience? What? The idiot blue-haired people who wear eyeglasses and talk about all this stupid shit on social media, praising this shit on social media, but at the same time, not actually going out to buy any of their products? Because ain't that the biggest irony? You have these major companies catering to a bunch of stupid idiots out there who go on social media, talk about, oh, this is such a great thing. We finally got some representation. This is something we can get behind, right? But the biggest irony, they don't actually buy that shit. If they did, their sales would skyrocket, but they haven't been skyrocketing. Why do you think the comic book industry's been so salty over manga? Manga's actually selling. Comics are not. They need to understand that these SJWs don't even make up even a fraction of their core demographic who actually buy their fucking products. It's so stupid. Miles Morales as Thor. He has no real identity.
I'm perfectly fine. Disney Marvel was riding so high off of anything related to the MCU doing well, they gaslit themselves into thinking that Brie Larson was a box office draw. She does have nice milk, I'll admit that.
We don't like Brie Larson.
Until the reality set in that superhero fatigue was real.
Okay, now here's the thing about Brie Larson. Terrible person, terrible actress. If they had written Captain Marvel better and casted someone better, box office success. But they didn't do that. And then they released the Marvels and thinking that was going to be a hit. What a joke. What a joke. Oh god, She-Hulk.
And not some phrase made up by those pesky YouTubers in the toxic fandom. What really caused superhero fatigue in 2020?
Yeah, people like this here. All they do is just praise on social media, but they don't actually open up their wallets. Even if they did, they still don't give them enough profit or revenue. Give me a break.
3 and how to fix it. I don't know. Nobody bad movies. The Eternals was a massive failure of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Oh yeah, you can use the Eternals as an argument. Like, people want to tell me, oh, she's just having a slow start. Riri Williams will become something good. Just like Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't really recognized until the MCU. Yeah, how well did the Eternals do?
Roles and Hollywood actors past their prime or not worth your time. The cult was so massive, some of the actors thought that the film was saving lives.
You know, it was as if... God, he just said saving lives, but it was as if casting Angelina Jolie in the Eternals, like, in the middle of her peak after being Maleficent. Because Maleficent blew the fuck up. Like, we all can't deny that. And that was actually a genuinely really good movie. But I think Disney got way too comfortable and decided to stand way too close to the sun. Now they started to make all this stupid live-action remakes of Disney movies that are fucking terrible. Like, it's as if Maleficent and Cinderella were the only good ones within this entire thing. This entire marathon of live-action remakes they've been doing these past few years. As far to my knowledge, it was just Maleficent and Cinderella that were really good. And Maleficent didn't even need a sequel. It really didn't need it. But they made it anyway, and yeah, it was half decent. I don't think it was nearly as good as the first movie, but it was decent at least. But now all of this other crap with what they're making, I'm not even looking forward to Lilo and Stitch. And, you know, Disney's currently trying to fuck over us with Mufasa and Sonic 3 beating their ass. Like, fuck that, man. Fuck Disney. Ever since Disney touched both Star Wars and Marvel, they just ruined everything now. But let me go back.
The actors thought that the film was saving lives.
Saving
I don't know
lives,
how.
my
After
ass.
seeing it, I contemplated canceling myself for another season.
I wish. And so, can you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving? Kids, you know, young queer folk.
And that's where their priorities lie. Their priorities lie in catering to an audience that doesn't actually give a fuck about them, but only praises them on social media. The queer folk. Give me a break. They completely disregard the people who gave them that fame to begin with, and just completely alienated us. And that's why most of us are gone. That's why most of us moved on. Ain't nobody watching anything new from Marvel these days.
Due to the poor reception at the box office, Disney canceled the sequel.
Oh no! What happened?
Yeah,
The
what
MCU
did
has
happen?
reportedly canceled the Eternals 2 to focus on guaranteed box office hits. The sound and
Guaranteed box office hits. What have they released that has been a real big box office hit since Endgame now? Really? Someone please tell me. What have they released since Endgame that was really a big skyrocketed box office success? I can't name anything.
the actors had a mental breakdown from the film not being a hit, and I'm not even joking. Eternals actor Kumail Nanjiani says his mental health was affected after negative reviews for the Marvel film. I still talk to my therapist about it.
Are you fucking kidding me? Why are these people so fucking fragile? It's the same thing when they're doing with the Acolyte, right? Like, you know... like this one actor in Acolyte who's a Filipino. His name is Manny. I don't know I forget his last name, but I know his name is Manny. like Pacquiao, but he's acting as if the Acolyte being canceled is like the end of the fucking world. Like, dude, there are so many things you can like be an actor and play as a character for. Why are you really hinging your entire acting career on the Acolyte? Like, seriously? There are plenty of different things you can try out.
Ant-Man encountered raid at the box office and died within a week. The film Girl Boss Too Close to the Sun. So much so that Wasp took a break from acting. Womp womp.
Really?
Evangeline Lilly is stepping away from acting, stepping into your Dharma.
I didn't even know this happened. That was
I
2024?
might return to Hollywood one day, but for
I didn't
now,
even know that
this is where I
happened.
belong. Not to mention, Jonathan Majors was accused of going full prodigy on his girlfriend.
Oh, that's such a
And
great
that's all
song.
it took, an accusation to end his career
Smack
in
my
Marvel
bitch up.
trilogy. Marvel pivot shifted hard to Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom, and one of the stupidest movie moves in franchise history.
When I first saw this reveal, I didn't know how to feel. I was just completely clueless. I'm like, wait, why is RDJ playing as Doctor Doom? And then it just hit me like, oh god, they're still milking this fucking multiverse theme. And I'm sick and tired of the multiverse. You know, I literally stood up and applauded saying thank you, Deadpool, when I was watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and he was talking about, like, you know what, the multiverse thing, you know, we need to drop all it, you know. We tried it out and we sucked at it. Like, when he was calling out the multiverse theme, I was like, thank you. I literally stood up from my seat and started applauding and saying thank you. I didn't care if anybody told me to shut the hell up or sit back down. I didn't care. I did it anyway because I'm like, about time they finally pointed it out. Because the multiverse is shit. The only thing the multiverse has been so far is just an excuse for terrible writers to make terrible stories out of characters that they didn't even make. He had one hell of a big pop, though.
Feels great.
Robert Downey Jr. is cast as Doctor Doom. Sparks accusation.
What? Whitewashing? I mean, lack of creativity, sure, but whitewashing? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Don't even get me started with the whole blackwashing and whitewashing hypocrisy. Because, like, it's like, oh, it's okay for us to blackwash this character, but if we whitewash this character, oh, you're racist. I'm like... Not to mention, there's still being taboo about James Bond. Oh, we want to make James Bond a woman. We want to make James Bond black. Like, can you guys chill the fuck out?
lack of creativity. All the stupid, creatively bankrupt things the MCU has done over literal years, crickets. But they cast Robert Downey Jr. to be Dr. Doom, and the major issue is that he's white, not that he was Iron Man. Make it make sense.
I agree, man. But hold on. Let me just look up for a second. Let me just be sure. Let me just be sure for a second. Now, to begin with, Dr. Doom. They want to say, oh, he's whitewashed, right? Motherfucker. Can I just point out that Victor Von Doom has always been white? Fuck it. Fuck it.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills! Early screen testing of the Marvels clued the MCU into how little people gave a shit about more girl boss MCU films. Nerdrotic came up with the $1 million phrase MCU to perfectly describe the minutiae we are living in.
Exactly.
Despite massive reshoots and delaying the film for a year, the Marvels did just as
But you know,
bad
it's not.
as
But you know what? It's not even MCU. It's been M-shit-U. That's what it is. The Marvel shit universe. That's what it is.
in Ant-Man, but some mania. The Marvels had less legs under it than Ricky Perfect.
Maybe I should coin that. The Marvel shitomatic universe. Not cinematic, shitomatic.
I'm going to skip over the horrible Disney Plus MCU shows like She-Hulk and Echo, mainly because the shows suck, but the PR behind these dumpster fires have the same energy as Darkseid Phil telling his viewers that he's a massive success, while at the same time
Darkseid Phil is so cringe.
Sorry, I don't care how much Wong is being paid to shill it, because he shills a lot of shit. Thankfully, I do well enough in my life, I don't have to shill garbage to make money. Flashback. But if you could support, please do. If you can get me to $100, I'd be very pleased. If we don't go above 100, that's okay. You know, I'm not going to hit the goal every stream, but at least 100 would be nice. We can do that. All right? Thank you. No. Disney Plus fans go wild for best Marvel TV show ever produced. Branding first 4 episodes perfect as rave reviews roll in for Agatha All Along. Echo is one of Marvel's best TV shows in years. Will people watch? Featuring an ass-kicking Chickasaw superhero and an MVP cast of native actors, the Disney Plus series falls under the new Marvel Spotlight.
Is Echo still
Don't
going?
ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Maybe I'll take a flyby shit on Agatha All Along. If you weren't madly in love with WandaVision, which is a necessity, this show isn't really for you. Any newcomer with an ounce of testosterone would find most of the interviews from the cast to be insipid, with the same marketing strategies pioneered by the now successfully canceled Star Wars acolyte.
Because this is,
I was just talking about this shit.
Are you excited about that? Are you bracing yourself?
Finally, homemade Manjaro makes your pants drop in just 1 week. I've developed a...
Fuck off, ads. Man, as of December 20th of last year. Wow, that's literally an article. Canceled because no one watched. You see? They make it as queer friendly as possible and diverse and all this stupid crap, but all the people that they were trying to cater to and show representation for, they've only praised it on freaking social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever have you, but they didn't even watch it.
I'm told, I've seen the first episode, but Agatha is the gayest Marvel project yet. Do you agree?
It better be. 'Cause that's what I signed up for.
The gayest?
I think it is.
Why does it matter if it's gay? Why are you trying to... You want to alienate heterosexuality that bad that you want to say it's the gayest of the gay? I don't know.
Very funny. Not at all tiresome. Cutting-edge humor. I giggled my nips off. Wait a minute. Didn't this chick's husband bubble himself over the weekend? Yep, he did.
Shit, really?
So you're telling me there's a chance? It's the second season. Who would you love to be in it?
Well, there definitely will not be, but I mean, there are so many amazing humans. I feel like I would want Lapone versus up against anybody. And there are so many people in the Marvel Universe already, which I think would be very fun.
Someone who's not.
Okay. Okay. I think it would be... God.
Owen and Madonna?
Madonna.
How fabulous was that?
It's been described to me that Agatha is the gayest project.
Why does he say the gayest? And why does he do that hand gesture? It's ironic that It'sAGundam has this burning city background, given what's going on in California right now.
Marvel has ever done. Agree?
I would agree with that, yeah.
Why is it?
You'll see. You'll see when you watch it. But, you know, I think...
Will anybody really watch it? Has anybody actually? I sure of hell haven't watched it.
Witches are queer inherently, just because...
Witches are queer inherently. Yeah, sure. Just like the story about witches who literally cut off penises, put them on trees, and then feed it oats. Oh, you guys think I'm making that up? Nah, that's actually a real thing. Literally, look it up. Look up the story about witches feeding oats to stolen penises. That's a real thing. And you know something? When it comes to the word queer, let's just talk about it. The word queer. What did it originally mean before they decided to conflate it with homosexuality? It meant weird. The word queer meant weird. And you know what? That's exactly what these people are. They're weird. That's exactly what witches are. Weird. Man, what is up with the alphabet people? Taking words and just changing the definitions of things. Like the rainbow, for example. Okay, so you take the rainbow, a symbol that was originally meant to signify God's promise to the world never to flood it again. So what do? They take one color off. Instead of the rainbow having seven colors in the spectrum, they take one out, make it 6, and then say that's the flag for homosexuality. And it's called a gay pride. Yeah, pride. The deadly sin number 1 of the 7. Makes so much sense, don't it? They like to take all these words, like the word gay, for example. That also meant the word... That word used to mean happy. Now to say if you're gay, you're not saying you're happy, you're saying you're into weird sexual immorality. I don't get it. It makes no sense. All they do is just take things and then change it up. Kind of like what Marvel's doing right now with race swaps. They take something, change it up. That's what SJW's doing. Take something, change it up, and then say it's theirs when they didn't really make it. I'm sick and tired of this shit.
Because we are outcast and, like, set aside for many reasons, and I think...
Wait, did she just say we are outcasts? Is she admitting to be a witch? Does she do weird witchcraft shit? I guess she feeds oats to a dildo.
This show shows a really good representation of different types of people, and that we can all use the power we have within to, like, go forth and be great.
Go forth and be great with representation. Yeah, you know what, Dr. Evil?
Right.
The word queer means nothing anymore when heterosexuals get co-opted in a sad attempt to pander to or fit in more with the TikTok generation in hopes of Zoomers who clock in more hours a week on TikTok than a Japanese salaryman trying to hold on to his job. All in the vain hopes that Zoomers will minimize TikTok and watch Agatha all along. Not only watch, but obsess over the show and ship the characters. Meanwhile,
I don't even think they're doing that. They're only praising it on TikTok, but I bet they're not actually watching it.
the show itself is more Marvel slop, written by people making things up as they go because they never bothered to get to know the source material. And why would you? White men are involved.
I was not very steeped in the comics.
I didn't read any comics or do any.
And yeah, this is the biggest problem right here. They keep hiring these writers who know nothing about the source material, so they make their own shit up. I hate this. I absolutely hate it. Why would you hire writers who know nothing about the characters they're writing about? They always do this. They've been doing this all along. And they're still doing it to this day. I can guarantee Genevieve Valentine didn't know shit about Catwoman before making her bisexual. And that was literally the start of everything 10 years ago. When DC decided it was a good idea to make Catwoman bisexual, which was heavily criticized, so much that Catwoman is hardly in anything nowadays. Like, what the fuck? Why did they hire these idiots? Where do you get these idiots?
Research.
I wasn't familiar with comics. I wasn't familiar with movies.
We didn't
Then why the fuck are you writing for it?
lead into a whole lot of the history of comic books.
Yeah, candidly, we were not enormous comic fans.
I wasn't.
That is the problem. That's the problem.
Super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of like indie press stuff.
First thing I was told is don't read the comics. Really?
As a creator,
Don't read the comics? Why the fuck not? The creators of the Fable movie starring Junichi Okada, I guarantee the writers of that movie read the original manga of the Fable before making it. Before they decided, you know what? We want to cast Junichi Okada to play as him. He's perfect for the role. Let's have him do it. And then we're gonna stay mostly true to the dang source material and the friggin' lore. But these idiots, on the other hand, they know nothing, and then they make something that's completely unrecognizable with these characters. This is unacceptable. This should not be tolerated, man. They need to fucking stop.
they don't let you talk about any of the other projects, right?
You know, they're up for anything. We ultimately decided to redefine it for the series and thought that it worked.
Yeah, in other words, what she's saying is we're gonna fix something that isn't broken.
Better for the story that we're trying to tell.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
So what do you think are some misconceptions about Marvel?
Oh, that's a good. Oh, that's good.
That it's just for like straight white men.
Yeah.
I swear, whenever these people say those three words, straight, white, male, you know where their priorities lie. You just know. This is a guy who has pronouns on his profile.
This is not. Correct. It is not.
Man, 1980s gay face. You know what that is? Remember in the 80s when gay people look surprised all the time?
Let the big
Oh,
ear
thank you, Dave
cake
Chappelle.
cook. Straight white men created these Marvel characters you're all playing. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure it was straight white men buying the comics for decades that made these characters worth adapting to film.
Exactly! It was the straight white men who made these characters, it was the straight white men who made these characters famous. And now, you have these gay men, these gay white men, making these characters infamous. Yeah, to quote Jonah J. Jameson, oh, he's famous, I'm gonna make him infamous.
Lest we forget, it's most likely straight white men keeping this dying medium of comic books afloat, considering all of this is done.
It's not even just straight white men, it's just straight men in general. Guys like me. I mean, I'm Filipino, man.
So that I can hear an actor whose career will be shorter than a hummingbird's lifespan get on a soapbox.
Everything is sexist. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic.
Captain America, New World Order. I mean, Brave New World. There is no greater irony than the Black Captain America being late to release.
Oh, someone please stop him!
Captain America Brave New World reshoots underway with new pages, new mystery character.
Oh, you and the guys, I really don't give a shit.
This is fine. Insider claims Captain America Brave New World failed to impress in test screenings again. The amount of reworks and tweaks to this movie has been insane. The only Marvel film to retool more is Blade, and that appears to be dead in the water. And now, Blackton America is circling the drain.
Blackton America. That's a good one.
For one of the cuts have leaked online. The person who attended didn't seem to like the movie at all that much. Based on the folks I've spoken to, those who attended were either given a red or green bracelet and were split up into two theaters. The reactions I've heard have not been very kind to this movie, which is being described as inessential and flat. Damn! As always, take insider information with a grain of salt, but they tend to be right these days more often than not. But one thing is for sure, they have reshot this film at least 3 times. And Lord knows that there is most likely 2 different cuts of this film floating around. And they tested so poorly they reshot again, literally 3 months ago, for a film that's coming out next month. The future of the MCU looks pretty bleak. Now that Deadpool and Wolverine is over, it's all downhill from here. Marvel's
You're damn right.
2025 slate doesn't look that good, to be honest with you. The new animated Spider-Man for modern audience.
Yeah, let's look at that lineup. And already, this Spider-Man series is already having a lot of questions because they decided to blackwash the Osborns. Yeah, nobody's gonna watch Ironheart. I don't even know what the hell Thunderbolts are. And all this other crap here, like... Daredevil, he was already butchered thanks to She-Hulk. They had their chance when Netflix still had it, but that's pretty much it. It's nothing now.
Since he's a streamer now, you guys. Blackton America.
He's a streamer? Well, I didn't know that little detail.
Written by Disney. No thank you. Thunderbolts, the edgy Avengers. Ironheart. She's most likely bisexual now, so don't be a bigot to watch. Fantastic Four, Pedro Pascal. Only transsexuals find him interesting and attractive, and that's because they gaslight themselves into thinking he's hot because he's an ally.
Some would say Narcos is when you became a heartthrob. Do you think you're a heartthrob?
What the hell's a heartthrob?
Really? That's right. Yes, I'm a heartthrob.
What the fuck is a heartthrob?
That's the truth. I'm a heartthrob.
This is just sad, you know? It's like
Pedro
when you see
Pascal
a
reminds me of
popular
Batista.
It's just a sad shit, you know what I'm saying? You too.
Oh, and Silver Surfer is now Shalabal. Thanks, Marvel. Marvel Zombies is arriving 10 years too late. Wonder Man, one of the worst Marvel characters ever created because he's ridiculous.
Are we really still doing zombies? Hasn't zombies already been a dated fad like 10 years ago? Like it was on fire during the days of The Walking Dead, but it's like nothing now. Why the hell are we doing zombies in 2025? Why?
Powerful, and is equally underwhelming. And of course, they'll take this character and make him black.
Yes, I know Wonder Man doesn't actually have a real human form, so he can take any form he wants, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. This is just really tough. Here's another video here. I just don't know, man. I don't know. Will Marvel actually come back and get better again? Nah. They're bankrupt on creativity. That's pretty much it. Same with DC as well. I mean, like, we had Kill the Justice League where they literally just blackwashed Deadshot and then said the original Deadshot is an imposter. What kind of shit is that? And then they want to say that it's a fucking sequel to Batman Arkham Knight. I'm like, really? This is the long-awaited sequel to Arkham Knight we were all asking for? No, it's not. No, it's not. And it was shit. The writing was shit. The idea was shit. Everything about it was shit. And that's all we're gonna get from here on out. Sonic 3 is a movie that is just simply a gem that sticks out in a sea of shit. Sonic 3 is the best movie I've seen in a long fucking time. With everything that's going on nowadays, I just don't see... There really isn't enough things to be excited about anymore. I mean, the latest thing I'm excited for now is just Mario 2, whenever the hell that's going to be coming out. I mean, the days of Arcane are done. The 2 seasons are already over. There's no more... They're not continuing the Carmen Sandiego animated series anymore. They're not... I mean, the Grand Tour is also over. There's really not a lot of things to look forward to anymore. Like, what do we got to look forward to, like, really, after Sonic 3 is taken from theaters? What do we got? There's really nothing now. There's nothing. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed this rant, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like me to really share my thoughts on any other topic, please let me know in the comments below. I really think we're in store for a bleak future.